So multiple reports have come out that the Phoenix Suns have lowered their asking price for superstar Kevin Durant. Does that mean that the Miami Heat have a better chance in acquiring the former All-Star? All that and more in another episode of Miami Heat Talk. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we continue to push for 7,000 subscribers. Now that we got that out the way, hit that intro.
That is enough said.
What is up, Heat Nation? Video number 2 of the day. Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope you guys are having a great day. The reason why you're getting another video today, you guys, there's a big breaking news that just came out, so I want to talk to you guys about it. Guys, posted another video earlier today, talked about the possibility of the Miami Heat landing Naz Reid this offseason. So when you're done with this video, if you haven't watched that, please go check that out. Don't forget to give it a like. Now, that previous episode kind of comes back to what I want to talk about with this episode. Because in the last episode, I talked about 3 possible ways for the Miami Heat to pick up Naz Reid this offseason. They can either pick him up with the mid-level exception if he's willing to take that. They can make some trades for expiring contracts to get under the salary cap, like Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier. If they're able to move those 2 contracts without taking much money back, they can get enough money under the salary cap where they can maybe give Naz Reid a little more money. Or the more likelihood that I feel would happen if you're looking to give him more money is via sign-in trade. So I think that he can work out getting Naz Reid. He'd be an incredible addition, especially to the bench role, being a former six-man player of the year. But another thing I mentioned in the video is if the Miami Heat are able to land a Kevin Durant and not have to give up so much, you'll still be able to fall under the salary cap enough to get a Naz Reid. Maybe even convince him to come for the mid-level exception if you're building a contender. And let's be honest, you guys, with the Eastern Conference being very depleted next year, with the injuries to Boston and the way that Milwaukee's shaping up, there's going to be 3 teams that are going to be serious contenders next season. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Knicks, and the Indiana Pacers, who just made the 2025 NBA Finals, barring injury. These are your 3 top teams for next season. So I can easily see the Miami Heat compete with those teams if you're able to trade for a Kevin Durant and pick up a Naz Reid. Now, this report that the Phoenix Suns came out with earlier, this was reported by Kelly Iko, who is an NBA reporter. He says that the Phoenix Suns have reportedly lowered their asking price for Kevin Durant. He says that Phoenix is aggressive in a pursuit of trading Kevin Durant and regaining full control of their draft capital, starting with the number 10 pick in this month's draft, team sources said. Now, since the conclusion of the season, Houston has fielded several calls from Phoenix, who have gradually lowered their asking price for Durant. Those sources say there is a price where the Rockets would be interested, but fear of breaking up their roster for a 36-year-old coming off of injury. Doubts remain over a deal materializing. So, there's not really a reason for Houston to make this trade. And even though Houston's name keeps coming up in a potential Kevin Durant trade, and a lot of people are saying that yes, even though Houston owns Phoenix's draft picks, there may be interest in doing a trade. But it doesn't really benefit Houston, especially with what they're building. They have a very young core. They're looking at themselves as another Oklahoma City Thunder. If you take a lot of these trade pieces and trade it for Kevin Durant, who's only on an expiring contract, it can kind of destroy what they're building. So there may not be a likelihood where Houston makes this trade. The reason why I think this is a perfect scenario for the Miami Heat is because Kevin Durant and the Miami Heat want the same thing. They want to win, and it doesn't want to be such a long marriage. Kevin Durant, you've seen him. He's gone to different teams. He likes flexibility. He likes options. So coming to the Miami Heat for 1 year, a team that has no state taxes, so KD is going to get a lot of that money back, playing alongside of Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, who Bam Adebayo he has a relationship with, winning 2 gold medals with Team USA. He has a relationship with Eric Spoelstra, who was one of the assistant coaches at Team USA. And then you have a building block in Tyler Hero. I've said this so many times. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Kevin Durant leading this team is a contender in the East. I don't care that Kevin Durant is 36 years old. He averaged 26 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, a steal. He gives you about almost 90% from the field, 40% from the he almost averages about over 80% from the field, over 40% from the three-point line, and 90% from the free throw line. He is a bucket getter. And this Miami Heat team is desperately lacking another scorer, another guy that you can give the ball to and say, win this game for us. This Miami Heat team had 16 games where they had double-digit leads going into the second half and blew those games because they did not have a Kevin Durant on this team. A lot of these defense would collapse on Tyler Hero in the second half, and the Heat would not have an answer. They do not have a consistent scorer next to Tyler Hero. They have scorers. They have guys that can drop 20 and 30 points. You've seen Wiggins do it. You've seen Bam do it. You've seen Jaime Jaquez do it. You've seen Nikola Jovic do it. There's even the rarity where you've seen Terry Rozier do it. Even Duncan Robinson's done it. They all can do it. But consistently, none of them can do it besides Tyler. So what defenses are doing now, they're just collapsing on Tyler and they're telling the Heat, beat us with someone else. That's what you need to do with Kevin Durant. And the fact that the Phoenix Suns have lowered their asking price, they're getting desperate to make a trade with Houston. And Houston is thinking, we really don't need to do this. It's not going to benefit us. We're going to keep your picks. We're going to keep this team that we have. And let's be honest, you guys, Houston's going to be one of the front runners if Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes available. So if they make this trade for Kevin Durant, they are getting themselves out of the game for Giannis. And I know a lot of teams are looking at Giannis as priority number one, Houston included. You also have San Antonio, Dallas, maybe OKC. There's going to be a lot of teams going after Giannis. And if the Houston Rockets make this trade, they're going to get out of the Giannis sweepstakes. And here's another reason why this is going to benefit the Heat. Another report came out from Hot Hoops and multiple journalists out there saying that the Phoenix Suns are trying to get this trade done before the draft, which is on June 25th, 7 days before the NBA free agency period. Why is Phoenix trying to do this? Because if a team drafts a player and signs them to their rookie scale contract, they cannot trade that player for 30 days, which means the Phoenix Suns trading Durant are probably not going to get a 2025 draft pick. So you want to make this trade at least by the draft so you can at least get that draft pick. Phoenix has no draft picks for the next few years. They're stuck until 2030 or 2031, I believe. So there's a lot of reasons why a Kevin Durant to Miami Heat trade between Phoenix and Miami makes a lot of sense. There's huge reasons why other teams may be out of the running for Kevin Durant. Look, guys, I'm not an idiot. I get it. There's a lot of other teams that have better assets than the Heat. Houston and San Antonio are two that immediately come up in mind that can get Giannis or Kevin Durant easier than the Miami Heat. But Giannis is the key reason why the Miami Heat may end up with Kevin Durant. So many teams are going to be waiting for Giannis's availability, waiting to offer packages, that they're going to let players like Kevin Durant slip through their fingers. This is where the Miami Heat can attack and pounce. You can offer Phoenix a deal surrounding Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, the 20th pick, and maybe even a future first-round draft pick or a pick swap. I think that deal gets it done. You may not have to include both Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic. You may just be able to include one of them. Phoenix is trying to get out of Kevin Durant's deal. This has been a bad situation since the regular season when this whole trade fiasco started. When Phoenix and Golden State were coming up with a deal sending Kevin Durant to Golden State, and Kevin Durant said no. Kevin Durant's interested in certain teams. The Heat, the Suns, the Rockets, and the Wolves. These are the main teams that Durant's interested in. But because of Giannis Antetokounmpo's flexibility and availability this offseason, a lot of these teams may have to wait. And that's where the Miami Heat can strike. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. If the Miami Heat can make a trade for Kevin Durant before the draft, do you make that trade? Do you wait for Giannis's availability? I think the Heat, if they have a shot of getting Durant, go now. Don't wait for Giannis. Because you're going to have too many teams that have better assets than you that can get Giannis. And if you miss out on Durant and Giannis, it's a failed offseason. Again. So Heat Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe because we're pushing to 7,000 subscribers. I'm spoiling y'all, giving you multiple videos in June, but that's what we're doing. because I'm trying to give y'all as much updates as I can. Thank you guys. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said.